All right, nerds, we have some movie news to get to. Before we do, just a real quick reminder, this is the movies section that comes from a much longer video that is up on the main channel. That much longer video is referred to as The Weekend Nerddom. I do it once a week. Every Wednesday it goes up approximately at Generally Nerdy on YouTube or Generally Nerdy on Rumble, wherever you so desire. But while you're here, let's talk about all of this movie news, shall we? Okay, movie news. We have more follow-ups. First up, the Alien movie, or the new Alien movie that we talked about previously that was kind of still somewhere in the ether and not a whole lot of details were known about it. We have some details now. It is going to be a straight-to-Hulu movie, much like the Predator movie called Prey that just happened that I still need to watch. But again, we'll talk about that over in That Just Happened. But so Hulu sequel, synopsis, we have casting first. Hailee Spaeny, who was in Pacific Rim Uprising, has been cast as the lead. David Jonsson from Industry. Archie Renaux from Shadow and Bone. Isabela Merced, I believe. Merced, maybe. Transformers The Last Night. Fearn, sorry, from The Batman. And Aileen Wu from Away From Home. That is our cast as we know it so far. We also have a working title. It's called Alien Romulus. So what could that mean? And then we have our little brief synopsis so far, and that is as follows. A group of young people on a distant world who find themselves in a confrontation with the most terrifying life form in the universe. That's all they're giving us so far, but it's better than nothing, right? So the release date still has not yet been made known, though I wasn't sure if we talked about this previously, but Ridley Scott is involved in the production. He's just getting a producer's credit, so whether or not he's actually doing anything kind of remains to be seen. And it's an executive producer credit even, so very much more likely he's not doing a whole lot as far as like what a producer actually does, but it is what it is. That's what we got. Let's move. Speaking of The Batman, we finally have a shoot date announced for The Batman 2. Begin filming November 23rd in order to hit its release date of still October 3rd of 2024. So it seems pretty on track. I'm hopeful. Come on, Battinson, let's do this. Next, we're talking about a movie that I think a lot of people kind of forgot about because we talked about it when it was originally announced, but that was some months ago, and now they finally have a director. Detective Pikachu 2 has a director, Jonathan Crystal. Well, all right. It's not officially, as of me taking these notes a day or two ago, it's not officially set in stone just yet, though all accounts say that it is basically a done deal. They're just waiting for the ink to dry, if you will. So Jonathan Crystal is in talks to direct the show, the movie, rather. And if that name doesn't do anything for you, you don't know who that is. I didn't either. He is apparently the co-creator of the show Portlandia. So that's weird. But it is what it is. Let's move right along. Next, we have something from the Star Wars camp, and this is confirmation of rumor that we talked about 3 or 4 weeks ago, actually. And that rumor is that Rogue Squadron and the Kevin Feige Star Wars movies have been canceled, and that has been officially announced. Yes, in fact, those two movies are no longer going to be happening. Patty Jenkins' Rogue Squadron and Kevin Feige's unnamed Star Wars movie are both no longer a thing. I do still very, very much hope they find someone maybe a little bit down the way at this point who can do something with the Rogue Squadron IP, because that was a great game, so we got to get a great movie out of it too. But if we don't, it's still a great game, so you don't need to make a movie out of it, but it would be fun either way. Yeah, this is, again, confirming things that we already know because they were from pretty good rumor sources. There was, the Taika Waititi Star Wars movie is also still moving forward, and we did get a little bit of an update there, and that's Taika is very likely going to be playing one of the characters in his movie as well. So take with that what you will. And then the Rian Johnson trilogy Still, there has not been an official word one way or the other since we last heard that it is somewhere in the early pre-production, so presumably that's still moving forward. Don't know how excited about that I am, but it is what it is. Let's move right along. Let's go into now trailers, and we got some great trailers this week. TMNT Mutant Mayhem, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, baby. Our next animated movie from the likes of Seth Rogen got a trailer. This time, the Turtles are actually going to be teenagers, which is weird. Yeah, let's do that. The internet is kind of going crazy about the April O'Neil in this trailer because she's young as well, which actually makes sense. But she's also been race swapped, so she's black instead of white, which honestly, it's more been race swapped, so she's black instead of Asian. The original OG April O'Neil, a lot of people are saying she was black in the very first comic that she appeared in. No, actually, it was a black and white comic, so it was kind of hard to portray. And depending on which creator you talk to, Eastman or Laird, Eastman, I believe, viewed her as a white character, and Laird viewed her as a mixed Asian character. So she is actually of Asian descent, if you want to even do that mind game with yourself at all, or others try and feel superior because you know what the original April. No, in a non-canon comic book, she was made black in the very early days, and subsequent reprintings of that non-canon comic book make her Asian because there was no like definitive acknowledgement of her race, so they just kind of changed the pigment of her skin, and recolorings of the original black and white comics also, I believe, make her at least appear to be kind of white, but she has dark hair, so maybe that means she could be whatever. It's irrelevant because if it's a good story, nobody cares, right? That's the point. As long as this is a fun story and they get the personalities of these characters correct, that's the biggest hurdle we're trying to get to with the Ninja Turtles. The rest of it is just details, and the devil is in the details, so I don't want to get into that, but no, poor attempt at a joke, I apologize. But yeah, so I'm actually pretty stoked about this. The April situation kind of is what it is. She's been black in a number of different iterations at this point, so her race makes no difference, so long as they tell me a fun actual Ninja Turtle story and not whatever the hell Michael Bay gave us. Fair? Fair. Let's move on. Next trailer is one called Off the Grid. So we got, it's a new Neil Blomkamp movie. Neil Blomkamp obviously is the guy who brought us District 9, as well as Elysium. He was going to give us the Halo movie before... This was like Halo 3, I think, was still the new game when that was originally announced. And that was in development hell forever. So that's actually what led into District 9. No word yet on District 10, though it is, last we heard, still somewhere in pre-production. But this is noteworthy. This Off the Grid movie is noteworthy because it is animated. I've never seen an animated movie come from Neil Blomkamp. He did do some animated shorts for a thing on HBO Max, I want to say. It could be Amazon Prime, I don't remember. But he did one of a series, which was great. I remember watching his specifically because I really like Neil Blomkamp. This, though, is a little bit different. I don't know. It's done in Unreal Engine 5, and this trailer really has me going, well, what's the rest of the movie gonna be? If that's because the trailer is long. It's basically a scene from the movie, and I'm intrigued. I'm curious. I want to see what happens. Yeah, so go check out that trailer. Sorry, that was a long way to get to that part. And then our final trailer for movies this episode is Haunted Mansion finally dropped a trailer. This actually looks like it could be pretty spooky. It's definitely not going to be scary. There's probably going to be a couple of jump scares, which doesn't count. But as far as a kids movie goes, because it is going to be rated PG, it is Disney doing, a thing based on a ride that's been at the park forever. And yeah, I legitimately am kind of intrigued by this one as well. The trailer is doing its job, man, because it makes me want to go see this movie. So go check out those trailers. Let's move right along. We got no regular ass news. So we do just move right into movie suggestions for the week. This week we're suggesting the movie Whiplash. Whiplash came out 2014. Starring J.K. Simmons and Miles Teller, and you don't need anything else. Those two together on screen. J.K. won a bleeding Oscar for this. I know that doesn't necessarily mean much, but there is a damn reason why he was nominated for this, because he is amazing in this movie, and Teller just stays with him the entire time. This is some of the best cinema you are ever going to watch. Absolutely turn off the episode now and go watch Whiplash, please. Once again, nerds, that was a short section that comes from a longer video on the main channel, Generally Nerdy, YouTube or Rumble. Take your pick. I'm on both. You can go find it there. You can go find all of the other news there as well, including the live episode. We do a live episode roughly once a week, every Friday evening. You can join the conversation live, or you can just leave comments here on this one or any of the other ones you find on the Clips channel. Thank you very much, nerds. We've got other news to discuss in other videos, but while we're getting out of here, don't forget that if it's generally nerdy, it's probably here.